This radio is powered by Streamline, the superior internet radio hosting service that provides our SOCAN license coverage. Visit streamline.com for more.
Hey there, changemakers. Imagine a world where every small act creates a ripple of impact. At wearestarfish.org, we're turning dreams of a better tomorrow into reality. Join our global community of starfish where every person like you is a catalyst for positive change. Whether it's empowering education, environmental stewardship, or supporting local communities, we believe in the power of every individual to make a difference. Visit wearestarfish.org today and discover how you can be a part of the wave of change. Wearestarfish.org, because each one matters.
Hey guys, this is Eric. I'm one of your hosts, and this is Story to Screen.
Hello, I'm Prana Songbird, one of your co-hosts for Story to Screen.
This month is Women's History Month. So in honor of all of the women that have been important to all of us throughout history,
we'll be featuring women in the music and film industries, women who are making history as we speak. So tune in every Tuesday night, 9 p.m. EST on KPEO Radio. Later, watch the video interview on wearestarfish.org. You can also find us on Spotify and most streaming platforms.
Enjoy, and we'll catch you guys on the flip side.
Like confetti in a windstorm.
Welcome to Story to Screen here on KPEO World Community Radio, where we're rocking the film world each week on Tuesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can go online, download the app, and listen in weekly with new guests and music, or catch the replay on wearestarfish.org. This is Story to Screen, and I'm your host, Eric Krefeld. Let's dive in.
On the boulevard.
I'm what you call a peer support specialist. Man, there I go, trying to get rid of the notifications. So I'm a peer support specialist. There's not very many people of us in the United States, but we are considered through all the Department of Human Resources one of the most important jobs. And what we do is we peer support people with mental illness and disabilities. We have groups. We meet with them one-on-one. I go to their houses. I take them out, get them through their trauma as best as I can, help them learn new skills. It's a whole team of us that work together to help. We were just talking about that. We had a meeting today. So we have creative writing, video, it's music. I have to come up with a writer's program, but I haven't yet, but I will. Writing music. So I do that on the side voluntarily. One of my students, for the first time, she started when she was 16, but she's releasing her EP finally after 2 years wow. in the studio. So everybody that I do music with, or because I'm also a vocal coach, I get them in the studio and record, and I work with them to write their own music and their own songs.
Well, and that's, through the foundation, that's one of the things that we're now starting to actively do is reach out and partner with people like yourself, where we can, our focus is a lot on, especially kids aging out of the foster care system. And people hear me say it every single time on every single show, and I don't care. I'll say it again and again and again and again. Which is just that out of everybody in this world that has to deal with something, my heart is just deep into the foster care kids, because I feel like it's hard enough being a kid in this day and age, in this world. It's hard enough being a kid, but then being a kid that doesn't get adopted, that doesn't have a home, that doesn't have a place that they know they belong, and they enter into the adult world without a mentor. I feel like that has got to be one of the most difficult things you can have going on. And so we try to partner up with people like you that, between the music, the writing, just all of it, the creative energy, and let them team up with you so that they can begin to produce things that are creative, that allow them to work through that traumatic situation and bring something to life.
Some of my students are 89. I've had students as old,
Sure.
because
some people take a long time to heal.
Yeah. And I like to work with the forgotten ones, you know, the ones that where they had no purpose in life. I don't care how old you are, 60, 70, 80, 90, and you want to put out, even if it's that one song, I'll work with some. And sometimes when people don't have money, I get donations and donors that will give money to help me with them.
Sure.
So, and not only that, through music, I help clothe people, house people, all sorts of stuff.
Well, that's I mean that is exactly, you know, our big picture is to be able to start creating a community, which, you know, in some ways you can say we already do have a community. We have a community of people like you.
We
and
just
me.
have to connect with them.
Yes, exactly. Which is why we're here, is to start connecting and start reaching out to each other so that we can start passing things along to each other to help each other help everybody else. Because every single one of us that's been blessed and has something that we have to offer, it's our turn to then, you know, just grab somebody by the hand and be like, yeah, man, I'm here. I got you. Let's do this. So let's talk about your music
is about too.
There you go. Let's talk about your music. So I know
did
Enough.
You listen to Enough?
I did. That's what I was just gonna say. Enough. Let's talk about Enough.
Okay. My guitar player that's on that song had a rare form of cancer. He passed. But with that, why that song means so much to me, he called me right before COVID and he said, I had a vision that I'm supposed to pay for you to go into the studio. And he was okay at that time.
Wow.
He said, I have a vision. God keeps talking to me. I got to record this album. I have to record this EP with you. And you're supposed to write the lyrics and you're supposed to perform it. I don't know why. It was 3 months after we finished the EP, he died.
Wow.
And that song was actually recorded during COVID. So when I wrote the lyrics, I had no idea that COVID was about ready to happen. The lyrics were already being written. And then I was like, wow. But it has to do with everything, not just COVID. It has to do with everybody that's suffering and trying to give people hope. My music has to have a purpose, and it's to provide hope. Because sometimes we're stuck in a position where there is no hope. But even when you are terminally ill, there is relief. There's hope, but you can give it a different way. Now, some people aren't going to get 100% healed. But you can still give them that hope through the process of coping and still having and living a purposeful life and giving the message that they want to give.
Absolutely.
Even through pain. So a lot of what I do is assisting those that are terminally ill and don't have that long for this world, as well as because they can still live a meaningful, purposeful life. It's just not going to be as long as the rest of us.
Right.
So I try to do it on all levels, providing music and my music, providing hope. And then I don't know if you notice that there's talking. So I am transitioning and making my music a inspirational speaker as well, because I'm getting old.
You are not.
I'm not. I can't, get that hit record. And, I'm not Taylor Swift. I love Taylor Swift. I love a lot of artists, but, you hit over 50, you're like, you got to think logically.
Yeah, I mean, but like our motto, because each one matters. Like what you're doing. I mean, if you touch that one person the right way at the right time, it changes their world, and that will have a ripple effect and change many worlds for generations to come. So
that's what I'm hoping. Even if it's not a million people, even one person is like a million people to me.
Well, hey, I mean, we could pick the big ones and just be like, I mean, imagine the world without an Einstein. Imagine the world without a Taylor Swift. Imagine the world without Elvis. Imagine the world without, just pick any one person. Imagine the world without them. It would be a completely different place. Everybody here has a purpose. Everybody here has a blessing. And if we don't help each individual person, then somewhere along the line, something's going to get missed. And that's just... it's unacceptable to me.
Well, yeah, and I market myself as a professional voice finder, but it's not just singing. It's just you.
Just being
you. Learn, encouragement, motivation to be the best version of you. Finding
Amen.
that voice, But that's my goal with my music, and enough is all about that.
Awesome. Well, we're going to jump out. We're going to take a listen to Enough, and then we're going to come back and talk a little bit more. So we'll catch you on the flip side.
This radio is powered by Streamline, the superior internet radio hosting service that provides our SOCAN license coverage. Visit streamline.com for more.
Like confetti in a windstorm.
Welcome to Story to Screen here on KPEO World Community Radio, where we're rocking the film world each week on Tuesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can go online, download the app, and listen in weekly with new guests and music, or catch the replay on wearestarfish.org. This is Story to Screen, and I'm your host, Eric Krefeld. Let's dive in.
On the boulevard, back and back, it's my parade.
Hey everybody, this is Eric here at Story to Screen. We've got a great night for you tonight. Tonight we've got Heather Fraley with us. And we've got her here, so we're excited to talk to her. Heather, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Awesome, awesome. Why don't you tell our audience a little bit about just who you are, what your background is, the kind of things that you're delved into, and things you're working on currently, even.
Okay, perfect. Well, I am mainly an actress, but I'm also a business partner on two different film productions, Fear Fame Film Productions and Shaver Fraley Film Productions. I also direct, do stunt work, I write, I do photography, I do everything film related, and I'm going on what is this, December? January will officially be my 2-year mark of being in film.
Awesome, congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, yeah, you've obviously wrapped your arms around pretty much everything in the film production area. I want to let's talk about directing a little, because being a female director, that's still kind of a new thing. There haven't traditionally been as many female directors as there have been men. You want to take a stab at why you think that is, or what it's like being a female director? If it's how's your experience?
Um, I I don't know why that is. I'll go with that. Maybe more females prefer acting. I don't know, or maybe they just weren't, given the opportunities. Maybe it's a society thing. I can't be the judge of that. But my experience is my first time directing ever was on my short film called White Poison, and it was entered into the OIF Film Challenge, and I actually got 10 nominations and 1 award, and it's currently in another film festival called T-Buff, which is the Tampa Bay Underground Film Festival, and that's going to be showing tomorrow, and it's up for a nomination as well. So that was my first time directing. I also have been directing since then. I did another short film for another challenge called Hinders. That also is an award-winning film. So I'm very lucky that some of the films that, two of the films so far that I've directed are award winners. So that's amazing. It's still hard
Yeah,
to believe.
congrats.
Thank you. As far as the experience goes, both films I directed and was an actress in. So
Wow.
it's a lot of work. I think that if you're going to direct, you should probably just direct. And if you're going to act, you should just act.
Amen.
Taking on both roles. Afterwards, you're going to sleep for like 3 days straight. You're going to be so exhausted.
Yeah, that's really schizophrenic, because I don't know
Yeah,
if people don't really understand that there's a mindset to both, and they couldn't be more different. As the actor, you're in character, and you're portraying someone that you're not, and so you have to feel, walk, talk, sleep, eat, like that person, not you. Um,
exactly. You have to turn it on, like off and on like a switch, and then be like, okay, I'll be
yeah,
right back. Then jump behind
yeah.
the camera, make sure everything's good, make sure everybody's where they're supposed to be, and then jump back over here.
And there is
Oh,
there is a little bit of a character to a director too. I feel like, I feel like, you put on a director hat when you step into that space, and you go, okay, I need to embody this right now. And because I do it too, where like I'll flip sometimes between DP and direct, or and it's like very different spaces, and in a very different ways that I talk to people depending on which space I'm in too. So
exactly. It's because, when you're a director or even an assistant director, assistant director, you have to be kind of the firm one on set.
yeah,
You have to, it's like, okay, well, Heather as your friend for some of the actors, then me as my character, and then me having to tell you, what to do. So I have
right,
to step up and do all of those 100%. And it
absolutely.
is kind of like it feels bipolar or schizophrenia. It's
I
like
was just gonna say schizophrenic. Yes, like
yeah,
totally schizophrenic. Absolutely. It's a strange experience. And yet I always encourage every actor I've ever met. I always encourage them to, even if it's just a kid's thing, or if it's just something fun as a hobby, like go direct something one time, and go be the DP one time on something, because you'll start to see your role as an actor a whole different way. And
Absolutely.
same true with all of it. As a DP, go stand me. I did it. I did it one time where I got in front of the camera and made an announcement, and I'm like, oh God, this is like horrible. Like, why do people do this for a living? Like,
That's so funny. Yeah,
it gave me,
you find out really quick where you fit and where your strong points are.
yeah,
But I do recommend, highly recommend picking one or the other for each
yeah,
film, not doing it all. Not
yeah,
that, I mean, the films came out great. I'm very, very lucky. I had a very strong team, and a lot of support and a lot of help. But just so you can, focus a lot more on just one thing at once, I
sure.
recommend not directing and acting.
Sure. And it's just really hard too. I mean, it's so much work. And you're right, it does. It requires an incredibly strong team, because you have to know that like there's somebody that's got your back when you have to step out of one space, that somebody else is going to step into that space temporarily for you and watch. Like, is somebody making sure that you've got the right angle on that, because now all of a sudden you're not directing that angle for you. So
Exactly. It's a lot of trust and a
yeah,
good team. And then,
absolutely.
going and playing it takes longer because you have to play everything back and make sure it comes out the
Mm,
way how you wanted it. You have to, check it out yourself.
sure. So do you find yourself using a lot of the same people repeatedly just because you build a rapport with them, or do you tend to, grab new people here and there just to get a fresh feel on things? What's your style?
I do both. I love meeting new people. I love getting new fresh faces, seeing, especially people that are coming in brand new or people that have moved into my location from elsewhere. Um, as well, I do have a good solid team that I can always depend on, but I do like to expand that.
Awesome.
And so so I don't use, I'll use the same production team for the most part because I am partners on two different film productions. And I have, obviously people that I trust and know to work the specific equipment to, it runs more smooth since we all know each other and we know how we do things. But as far as the actors and casting goes, I just look for the person that's best fit for that role. So
Nice.
it's not based off of just, who I know or who I've worked with. It's whoever is best for that role, new, old, whoever.
Nice. All right. Well, we're going to take a break in just a minute, listen to some music. Can you throw out some ways that people can find you, get in touch with you? And if you're the kind of, director that, wants people randomly, hitting you up with, um, reels or resumes or anything like that, let them know. And, just let them know how to find you and, the appropriate way to find you, if you will.
Absolutely. Did you want me to do that now or
Yeah,
after we get?
yeah. Go ahead, rock it out.
Okay, perfect. So, you can find me on IMDb. You can just search my name, Heather Fraley, Fraley. A lot of my information comes up there. I'm also on Facebook under Heather Fraley. Instagram, I'm Heather Fraley _official. And TikTok, I'm Heather Fraley 1. All of those I'm always on and always doing casting calls and all of that. Fear Fame Film Productions and fearfame.com, basically. You could go there and you could get all of our information. Basically, if you just Google either my name, Heather Fraley, or Shaver Fraley Productions or Fear Fame Productions, you can find a way to reach and get a hold of us. And I don't mind being reached out to. I get reached out to a lot by lots of people. People that are just wanting, some advice, people that have never acted before or done film, or they're writing a script and they want an opinion. I don't mind being reached out to. I might not be able to get back to everybody promptly, or sometimes messages go into like the Facebook message request or spam, and I won't see them for quite a few months. But when I do see them, I do try to get back to everybody.
Awesome. All right. And Andy, we're gonna, so after the show, whatever you don't catch, you'll be able to go to Story to Screen. So it'll be wearestarfish.org / Story to Screen. You'll be able to go there. You'll be able to pick up the replay of the episode. It'll stay up there forever. And we'll list as much links as things like that on there that we can, so that it's easy to find people.
This radio is powered by Streamline, the superior internet radio hosting service that provides our SOCAN license coverage. Visit streamline.com for more.
Hey there, changemakers. Imagine a world where every small act creates a ripple of impact. At wearestarfish.org, we're turning dreams of a better tomorrow into reality. Join our global community of starfish where every person like you is a catalyst for positive change. Whether it's empowering education, environmental stewardship, or supporting local communities, we believe in the power of every individual to make a difference. Visit wearestarfish.org today and discover how you can be a part of the wave of change. Wearestarfish.org, because each one matters.
Like confetti in a windstorm.
Welcome to Story to Screen here on KPEO World Community Radio, where we're rocking the film world each week on Tuesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can go online, download the app, and listen in weekly with new guests and music, or catch the replay on wearestarfish.org. This is Story to Screen, and I'm your host, Eric Krefeld. Let's dive in.
On the boulevard, I'm not turning back. It's my parade.
All right, hey everybody, it's Eric here with Story to Screen. I'm talking with Michele Seidman. Am I getting your name right? Seidman. I ruin everybody's names.
Everyone thinks it's Seidman. I always tell them, think about a side musician. They call them sidemen. It's just not spelled that way.
Love it. All right, Michele Seidman. There we go. So, Michele, if you can, tell our listeners and our viewers a little bit about who you are, how you got started and what you're doing, and give us a little overview of what you're doing, because you're doing a lot. So let's just dive right in.
We're getting more specific today because I do work with the film industry, but we're talking about music. And for the last 17 years, I've been the chief bottle washer of an organization called the National Women in Blues. It is a nonprofit that was built to support, promote, mentor, and edify female blues artists anywhere in the world we can find them. And we've been doing it for a long time. We started with festivals in Wilmington, North Carolina. Then the mortgage crisis hit and we stopped getting funding. So did all the other festivals that were new. And then in 2013, I went to the International Blues Challenge in Memphis, which my band had competed in before. Someone said, hey, if I get you there, can you put together something with women in blues? So I went, I did, and it was actually a little shocking how big it went really fast. And within a few years, the IBC and the Blues Foundation sort of adopted us under their wing and took us on to Beale Street. And the last 4 or 5 years, Endless Blues Records has been sponsoring us to continue the event at Alfred's on Beale. And we present a dozen female performers every year in a showcase, old-fashioned style. I call it the elevator pitch showcase. They get a 10-minute set and off, and the next one, 10-minute set and off. We also do some live stream interviews with artists that we can't get on the stage. Most of those are, just talk interviews, although sometimes they will do a song or two. And we continue to do this as well as run social media. Our biggest area of social media is a Facebook group for National Women in Blues. We have close to 9,000 members now, and I go through every one. So we try to keep the spammers and the memers and the here, watch this video people out, so that it's filled with nothing for the most part but amazing female blues artists and blues fans and supporters, which is absolutely wonderful. We have an extremely high engagement rate for Facebook. We have something like 44% engagement rate, when I've heard the average is like 10 to 20%. So I'm really proud of the group, the organization, and the people that have been involved with it, because even though I'm the chief bottle washer, there's a lot of people who've been helping and supporting me over the years.
Absolutely. I mean, I stalked your page heavily, like when we decided to do this, so if you felt stalked, that was me. I apologize. I was blown away by, there's so much in what you're doing, the amount of people that you're engaging, and like you said, you get comments, you get comments, and you get views. People are really watching what you're doing. It's not just some people, they post something and you get the like, you get the click, but people are really commenting on and sharing what you do. So it's obvious that what you're doing has an impact on the women and all of the people that support those women. So I applaud what you're doing, and I'm very appreciative to the work that you put in to make all this happen all the time. So I want to jump back a little, and I do want to talk about this organization that you've got going on a little bit more, but I want to talk about you personally first as a musician. So
Okay.
you are a performer yourself, even if you're not currently performing. I always figure once a performer, always a performer. So you have music of your own that we're going to take a listen to in a minute. Can you tell me a little bit about your music?
Sure. I've been doing all kinds of music for years, but then I hit 40 and I found that the blues was really my musical home. It was where I felt most at peace and the happiest. I'd get on stage and go to jams and make up songs, and then before you knew it, I put a band together. We started getting gigs, put several years into it, managed to get to the International Blues Challenge in 2006, managed to get our music on air all around the world, which was really exciting. We even made the Paris Blues charts in, was it 2008, I believe. And that was kind of exciting and fun because I love being a storyteller. The arts to me is about communicating thoughts and ideas, getting people to think or to feel. And so blues was definitely the right genre for me. I've done most of it. I've done choral and classical, and I've done standards and country and rock and alt, comedy, cabaret. But blues was where I felt most at home, and I continued performing with my band for many years till some health stuff took me out. But it was actually my own band that gave me the idea to start National Women in Blues. I would have people comment that I stylized like a man. And I was like, what? And then I thought about it. A lot of the mentors that I had were men. My first chorus teacher was male. It was male blues artists that I was jamming with and working with and learning from. And so I went to a large festival we won't name, and they had 55 bands on 4 stages over 4 days, and I was so excited to look for female artists. I was like, I'm going to go find some mentors. I'm going to go find some women I can learn from. I'm going to watch and learn. There were only 4 female acts out of 55 bands. And then I started walking around on the streets, but there were women playing on the streets, including Juke Joint Judy, Valerie June, Big Red and the Soul Benders. And so I made connections with these people, and I got back home and I had booked a club for something else that was not going to happen. And I decided with 6 weeks' time that I was going to put together the first National Women in Blues festival that was all women. And we didn't sell a ton of tickets, but we did have decent attendance, but we had a lot of attention for it. And it helped me realize that I was not only right that people wanted to hear women sing the blues, but that the women didn't necessarily have the network with each other. And so through my own performing of the blues and doing my thing, I started the organization. But I was very lucky. I got to perform on stage with some amazing people. I jammed in front of a packed audience with Taj Mahal. I got to perform on stage with Shirley King. She's the one that told me, oh, honey, just sing the white women blues, because white women get the blues too. I, one time at a party, swapped Life Stories in song with Big Bill Morganfield. We sat there and sang our stories to each other back and forth. So I've had some really great people that I've gotten to play and work with over the years, and I had some amazing musicians that I worked with who also helped me write music too. We had some music get used in film. Arthur Newman Golf Pro, a song written by my guitar player at the time, Madison Bunting. It was called Better Than I, and so that was fun and exciting. They even hired me to come in and sing it, in the movie, and then they cut me out, but not the song. So that was kind of funny.
Yeah, us film producers, we tend to do stuff like that every once in a while, where we go like, "Hey, can we have that?" And then we go, "Okay, but we're gonna just use this part of it. Thank you, though."
Yeah, I kind of thought it was funny, because they paid a decent rate for me to be there. They had me there all day long, and they'd already recorded the music. So if they only wanted the music, they would have been fine with that. But they had me come in and lip sync to the recording they had me do.
And hey, everybody, it's Eric here from Story to Screen. I am here with Tina Aldrich. Tina, thanks so much for joining us today.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, Tina's just an awesome lady. She's been working in this industry for a couple of years. We won't say how many because we're going to leave her at her, 29-year-old status-ish.
Thank you, Eric.
You're welcome. Thank you. And and then, so Tina, just give us a little historical tour there through your background.
Oh man. Okay. So, I have to give credit where credit is due. And I was a gymnast for 10 years living in Central Florida. So of course, as soon as that, part of your life is over, you just go into whatever work feels natural. And that's going to be stunt shows in Central Florida. So I worked at both Disney and Universal doing live shows there. And then from that, the stunt industry was actually relatively small back in the day, especially in comparison to what it is now. And many things were being filmed in Central Florida still at that time. We had the backlots at MGM Studios. So from that, I got to do a couple different films and TV shows, doing some stunt work in that. And then I took quite a bit of a break. But after, my break, I came back and really dived more so into acting instead of stunt work, as well as the production side.
I'm going to stop you right there. Hold on, because when you say stunt work, let's talk about what you mean when you say. Are we talking like you did a stunt, like you walk across the floor and pretend to trip on something, or what kind of stunt do you mean when you say stunt work?
Yeah, so I know that can be just a big range, can't it? As well as, you see the credit go by and your name's in there for just what you're talking about. For me personally, my stunt work ranged from doing a high fall off of a building to being lifted up by a wire, 10, 20 feet up in the air. To tumbling, because I'm a gymnast. So that's what I did. Fighting, so stage fighting, any of that gun handling and things of that nature.
Awesome.
So mine really stayed in that. I've never been lit on fire. I don't know if I will be. Maybe I've passed my time for that.
Is that something that a stunt person normally aspires to, is to be lit on fire?
You have all ends of the spectrum in every area of entertainment, as well as stunt work. So you have some stunt people that are like, I'll do all of it, light me on fire, give me 100-foot building to jump off of. I'm good though with a lot lesser of that side of things, so no, I don't ever aspire to be lit on fire. I think I'm good. I'm good with what I did, but yeah, wire work has to be, in my opinion, the most fun of any of the stunt stuff. Gun tactical work is cool just because, I don't know, I feel like that's cool. I've always loved watching any of those types of like army movies and things of that. So just being able to handle it and really create the intensity, I think, in the films right there and get people on the edge of their seats is really cool. Yeah. It's a cool feeling. Yeah.
And you've got stuff, right? You've got like photos and stuff that you can send me that we can build in here and let people see some of the crazy stuff that you've done, right?
I do. Now keep in mind, we did say I took a couple decade break there. So a lot of this stuff was back when we didn't have phones on or cameras on phones, right? So I do have some still shots, so you can see me in the air on a couple of different things. that I did when I was training over at Universal. And then recently, and I say recently loosely, so within the past 2 years, I did do a little bit of wire work, and so I can send you over some stuff that way. But
Yeah,
um,
let them see
yeah,
what you do, man.
yeah. Well, I'm now
So
called the OG.
there,
So
the OG. All right, I dig it. So for all of our producer friends out there, here's a producer that has some other skills too. So if you're looking for um a stunt coordinator or anything like that on some of your stuff, don't forget, reach out to us here. We'll put you in touch with Tina, or you'll be able to find Tina yourself pretty easily. If you can't find her, call us and we'll find her for you. So
thank
just
you. Yeah.
again, the way, because that's what this whole show is about, is helping people to collaborate a little better, that whatever it is that you bring to the table, there are a zillion people out there that we work
Yeah.
with that may just be looking for that thing. And
As well as the casting side, Eric. So I do want to mention, just because I have, I've done stuff personally, but because I've been in the industry itself, that part in particular, for multiple decades, I do have an eye with what I'm watching and what I'm looking for. So even as far as the casting part goes, I can definitely lend a really good eye on that, as well as put the feelers out and find the right people, for the part of it. So
I had
I
to
could be,
film a fight scene a couple years ago, and it is incredibly difficult to do if you don't have a person such as yourself standing
yeah,
right in there making sure that the angle is the correct angle, because we all know that the fight isn't really happening.
yeah,
They're not
yeah,
really hitting each other, but they do it so well. They do it so well that if you do the angle correctly and you practice the motion, and that but if you don't, man, it shows.
yeah. It's a choreographed dance, it really is. And it can get dangerous if you are not trained and doing it right. So yeah, it's a very intricate part. And it's important that the actors most of the time are not the stunt people because of the level, of all it takes is for someone to throw a punch and for you to turn the wrong way. And there it is. Yeah. Not thinking.
Yes.
Hmm.
So you've lived in that world, the stunt world, and a lot of the acting world. What else from there? How did you transition from being there to kind of some of the more of the stuff you're doing nowadays?
Yeah. So, I've always been one of those where, and, even back in elementary school or middle school and high school, group projects, I was like, well, let me just do all of it. I have an eye for what the finished product wants, it can look like, it's supposed to look like, and how to get it there, how to put all the parts together to really get it to that finished product. And even when I'm working for somebody or collaborating for somebody, I feel like I really listen and I can understand what they're wanting to achieve. The whole marketing aspect of the film, like, why do we want to put this out, or TV show, or, what are we looking to achieve? So I've done location scouting with that end goal in mind. This is the perfect spot for that. I've done casting, PA work. I understand every little part of things that need to happen to make it happen. And so I'm a very motivated individual, and I have a passion for this industry in all areas of the industry. And so I think that when you get somebody that has that same energy and passion and you put it together, that's how I've been able to go, okay, they dropped the ball, don't worry, I got that one too. They dropped it, I can do that, just to try to make it happen. And Eric, you've worked on some projects with me. You've seen that happen, itself. I'm like, okay, let me grab some waivers. Let me schedule the spot. Let me contact the people and
Yeah, and I think it's such an important quality to be able to grab onto, the way that you can coordinate, even the coordinator behind every project that happens is probably like the linchpin to everything. Without the coordinating person, everything falls apart. And when things fall apart, it just makes the whole production run tougher. And sometimes they don't ever make it to the finish line just because the coordinator wasn't the right person for the right spot at the
Sure.
right time. Or so it's great that you have all of that in your background, in your back pocket per se, so that when you're on set in whatever role you're in, you do understand so many different facets of it, which is really helpful for cinematographers, directors, all that kind of stuff. It lends so much more depth to, what you're be able to do. You understand, well, if I look right at the camera, they're going to feel this way about it. But if I look over the camera, they're going to feel this about it. If I look straight into the camera, it could be really intense and they may not like it. So,
Yeah.
you get all that stuff. So it's cool to be able to work on set with you.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. And execution as well is key. I think that one of the funny things I've heard from other people is Tina's already got it done, so I feel like there's a lot of talking sometimes that goes on. We should do this or be cool or maybe this, that. And it's, well, here, everything's already done. These are your options. And so it just makes it easier for whoever I'm work with to be able to, continue going. Because sometimes you need that person. So,
absolutely. So you
yeah.
absolutely need that person. So we're going to take a quick break right here. All right, guys. So yeah, that was some of the cool stuff that Tina's been a part of over the years, and just a couple of years, because again, she's only like 29-ish. So we're gonna keep her there forever. Tina, you have made a little bit of a transition. I know you still do some of that on camera stunt, all of the kind of stuff that you've been involved with before, but I know that you are making a little bit of a transition here. Do you want to talk our viewers through what's in the works for you?
Well, absolutely. Like I said, I love seeing the finished product, and sometimes I think for a lot of our viewers, they already know it. If you want something done right, you do it yourself, right? Or you get somebody that's with you, and you work with a smaller group. So I'm actually working on a project here in Orlando, and it's kind of it's a really, I don't know how much I can say about it, but I'm an on-camera host for that, and that's going to be a 24-hour channel. So that's been a lot of work. It's been fun, and as the filming continues to go, of course, as everybody knows, when it's something like that, we're changing small things and being able to adapt to what they want and what we need. So I'm working on something here. I've been working as a host on the show Georgia's Hot Spots, and so that's been pretty cool. Not only a host, I've also done some location scouting there. I've created an episode, and I do travel. So I am based here in Florida, but of course I'm traveling all over the place, doing some stuff. And then there's another project that is in the works that, again, you're just going to have to wait and see. But this is everything I love doing, so even with what I'm working on, I'm still grabbing, for more. I get excited about it. So it's not work.
It sounds like it's a very transitional year for you, that you're really starting to dig into some of the aspects that, that you're really interested in digging into. So we're excited to see the kind of stuff that you're going to be putting out over the next couple of years. How do people find you? Whether it's for, stuff you've done in the past, for, for helping out on other sets, or people that want to talk to you about whatever you've got coming up. How do people find you?
Absolutely. So, you can reach out to me via email. I'm great. I'll respond to that within 24 hours for sure. And that's Tina Aldrich Act 2 at gmail.com, which maybe we could put it up there. It'd be great. My cell phone is always open, 407-575-7616. Instagram is also a great way to be able to get in touch with me. So I can put my Instagram handle, up here as well. So Tina Warrior Princess 7. And I'm constantly, talking to people about various things, and I love doing that. Bring me your ideas, bring me anything that you need help with, and I love meeting new people. A stranger is a person you haven't met yet, right?
Awesome. Love that. So, one of the things that we do, here, this whole show is built around the wearestarfish.org and the premise that, as we help other people start to collaborate better together, they can create opportunities for young people within the performing arts. And so I'm going to leave that as a challenge to you, that with some of the stuff that you're working on, whether it's something you're hosting, whether it's something you're on camera, whether it's something you're behind the scenes, anytime there's a moment where you feel like there's a spot you could bring somebody in there, whether it to be, just a behind the scenes camera person, or maybe somebody could help interview, or, who knows? I don't know what the answer is. I just know that somewhere in the stuff you're doing, maybe there's a spot that a young person could step in and start to really get a feel from you of what this is like.
100%. I'm thinking of multiple spots, Eric. I have some cool ideas to be able to bring somebody in. Yeah, for sure.
Awesome. Well, we're looking forward to all of it. And thank you so much, Tina, for being here with us. Once again, guys, this is Story to Screen. I'm your host, Eric. Catch it every Tuesday night, KPEO Radio, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then you can catch it on wearestarfish.org. Thank you, Tina.
Thank you, Eric. Bye.
Catch you guys on the flip side.
Hey there, changemakers. Imagine a world where every small act creates a ripple of impact. At wearestarfish.org, we're turning dreams of a better tomorrow into reality. Join our global community of starfish, where every person like you is a catalyst for positive change. Whether it's empowering education, environmental stewardship, or supporting local communities, we believe in the power of every individual to make a difference. Visit wearestarfish.org today and discover how you can be a part of the wave of change. Wearestarfish.org, because each one matters.
Give it up, yes, I'm ready. Give it up, feel the flames. It's bound to eat you. Hand up a piece of prey. Give it up, yes, I'm ready. Give it up, feel the flames. It's bound to beat you. Beat you at your own game.
Thanks for spending some time here at Story to Screen on KPEO World Community Radio. I'm your host, Eric Krefeld, and we're rocking the film world every Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can download the app or listen live, or catch the replay at wearestarfish.org, because each one matters. Catch you next week on Story to Screen. Keep supporting film and music. It's the story we tell that matters.
This radio is powered by Streamline, the superior internet radio hosting service that provides our SOCAN license coverage. Visit streamline.com for more. This radio is powered by Streamline, the superior internet radio hosting service that provides our SOCAN license coverage. Visit streamline.com for more.
And it's all just very motivational, very uplifting, kind of like with, Miss Thissen here, our guest. The music that she brings to the table regularly is all very, if it's not overtly spiritual, it just feels like a spiritual experience. So, Carlene, that last song that we were listening to, can you tell me the title again so I don't mess it up?
Mary's Heart and Martha's Hands.
Right. And so, from my experience, almost every song has, a story to it, and that one I'm sure does. Can you tell us a little bit about where that song came from?
Sure. Oh, yeah. It's a really actually popular Bible story about Jesus who goes with his disciples to a town where it's not quite defined, but I think he's cousins with Mary and Martha, who live in this town called Bethany. And so he shows up there with his disciples, and Martha starts cooking and cleaning and making sure that all these guys are going to be comfortable, probably to sleep overnight, And Jesus sits outside with the disciples And he starts preaching and telling his, amazing Bible stories. And Mary sits there and listens. And Martha's like, yeah, okay, I'd rather be listening to, but somebody's got to cook the food, right? So this priest, Father Pio out in Immokalee, gave a sermon about that one time, and he said, wouldn't it be great if we could be a blend of Mary's heart? Mary's heart wanted to sit by Jesus, right, and listen. And Martha wanted to make sure that Jesus was okay, so she was using her heart, her hands, rather. Right. But the interesting thing was, Jesus went in and talked to Martha and said, hey, why are you upset? And Martha said, it's just not fair that Mary listens there while I have all this work to do. And Jesus says, no, Mary made the better choice, because he wasn't going to be around forever. And so he was saying, right, but yet Martha was still thinking, I'm sure, what I would have been thinking, which is, yeah, but no, I got to cook dinner for these guys. So the prayer, the song is actually a prayer. My co-writer, Martha Christian, defined it. And it just says, may I be a perfect blend of Mary's heart and Martha's hands.
Some really important, powerful stories that are just woven in their music and in their art. Our audience are going to be really interested to know a couple of these kind of shows that you do, Carlene. So can you share a little bit about the two different shows that you do?
Sure. The shows are really fun because I've done a lot of public speaking, so they're not just music. I have PowerPoint presentations of the histories of Judy Collins, Joni Mitchell, and Joan Baez, like comparative history, like who were their lovers and who was this, and with each one I sing some of their songs. So I'll tell a little story about whatever, and then I'll play Judy Collins' My Father on the piano. And when we get to Joni Mitchell, I'll play, Bay Paradise, put on a parking lot, right? By Joni Mitchell. Yeah. And then different, the whole show, it's like a historical musical journey. And the other one is Woodstock Memories, and I was at the original Woodstock, and I actually have a lot of memories. And I share them then again with the PowerPoints and pictures and the songs in between each thing. So each of those shows is about 2 hours long, and and about half music, half talking. And they're very well received. So I'm anxious, and I'm excited about doing the next one, which we're going to have here where I live, in a community called Naples Estates in Naples, Florida. And the public is invited, and it's free. So it's going to be on. Right on. I keep saying July. It's November 29th. Yep. The Wednesday after Thanksgiving. Yeah. Right on. And you're able to do these shows. You're able to do these shows pretty much anywhere, correct? I mean, you could do them in libraries, you could do them in stadiums, you could do them in classrooms, obviously, as well. I have done them in all of those three except for stadiums.
Give it up, yes, I'm ready. Give it up, feel the flames. It's bound to eat you. Hand up a piece of prey. Give it up, yes, I'm ready. Give it up, feel the flames. It's bound to beat you. Beat you at your own game.
Thanks for spending some time here at Story to Screen on KPEO World Community Radio. I'm your host, Eric Krefeld, and we're rocking the film world every Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can download the app or listen live, or catch the replay at wearestarfish.org, because each one matters. Catch you next week on Story to Screen. Keep supporting film and music. It's the story we tell that matters.
It says my heart just ain't there.
This radio is powered by Streamlion, the superior internet radio hosting service that provides our SOCAN license coverage. Visit streamlion.com for more.